I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we're going to talk about. It's important for you to know what we will show you. We will give you a bit of background about our company, about the challenges we face together in those times. Of course, we will show you our products that we work with, that we can offer to you. And then we will give you a little bit of background about our certification, research, references that we have already accumulated in the time that we have operating. So first of all, our company, our aim is to transform hygiene. I'm going to get to that in just a second. We have spent the last 3 years in research and development to come up with a way to transform hygiene. Our goal as a company is to transform the hygiene approach from a reactive approach to a preventative approach. So instead of cleaning a surface, removing a contamination after it has been made, we want to be there before it happens. Our company is Swiss-based manufacturing and quality control. We are operating in Austria for our international distribution and management. And yeah, that's a little bit about our background. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the challenges that we face together and that we as a company want to work toward to really solve. There's 3 things that we deal with our technology. The first thing, it's all very well known to you, is antibiotic resistance. Hospitals, especially critical care hospitals, face a very, very big threat, which is antibiotic resistance. Hospital-acquired infections are responsible for about 85,000 deaths every year in Germany alone. And this is just a number to display the severity of this problem. The impact on the public health infrastructure is enormous. And this is what we originally set out to change. This is what we wanted to focus on. Of course, we all got surprised by a global pandemic that we're now dealing with, the coronavirus pandemic. And this has completely changed the way we have to think about hygiene. Hygiene is now in everybody's mind, is now in everybody's thoughts. This is why hygiene awareness is also a new challenge for many, many companies around the world. Our approach involves 2 products. The first one is focused on the preventive approach. And the second one is focused on the active protection part that is meant to deal with the pandemic challenges. The first product is Swiss high-tech coating. It is a long-term surface coating, which can be applied to almost any surface that prevents the buildup of antibiotic resistances on those surfaces. So how it works is it's a polymer coating that can be applied by wiping a surface. After a dry out period, it will harden out and the chemical ingredients will activate. And we work with regular biocidal agents that can be adapted to the application. So for example, for a healthcare setting, it might be necessary to swap out the biocides every few months to prevent even the possibility of any resistances for the germs in the hospitals to be acquired against the coating. It can be applied to almost all surfaces that are not silicone or PET based. The reason for this is the polymer nature. It has to make good contact to the surface. Of course, we are certified by certain standards that are necessary for antimicrobial activity on surfaces. And basically, it is intended for high touch points. So if you think about a hospital, if you think about a clinic, there are many things that are being touched on a regular basis by patients, by doctors, and of course, also in a general environment, in an office building. If you think about door handles, elevator buttons, and so on, all those points where you might get in touch with germs that you don't want to be in touch with actually. So this allows us to have a way to fight germs, to fight multi-resistant germs before they are even on a surface. So when you touch and when a door handle, for example, is coated with our product, you will know that you can touch it without worrying to wash your hands afterwards. Think about the possibilities where this product could be used. It is already in a large scale application. I will come to this in our reference list. And yeah, this is basically our way, how we want to transform hygiene by moving the process from a reactive approach. You clean things after they get contaminated, after they get dirty, to having a system in place, a coating that will last for quite a long time, 6 months, actually longer than that, but 6 months is what we guarantee. And this is a way to really change the way you think about a cleaning process in a healthcare environment, and also of course, a corporate environment. The second part is the active protection part, which we introduced as an add-on to our product during the coronavirus pandemic. And it is basically a disinfectant that is based on hypochlorous acid. It can be applied with air humidifiers as an aerosol. Of course, we are below the critical limits for health and safety of the active ingredient. They are all well defined as working place guidelines. Our product is classified, our active ingredient is classified in all relevant biocidal product types. PT1, which is skin application, PT2 is surface and air application, PT3 is for veterinary application, PT4 is for food application, and PT5 actually is for drinking water purification. So you have no risk to people that are working inside areas where you are working with the active protection part of a product. There's very, very low or no environmental impact due to the way the product disintegrates after activation, after reaction. And yeah, so this is our second part that we added as a add-on to our portfolio during the pandemic, because it is a way to deal with the aerosol contamination that is currently a very, very big problem in the ongoing pandemic. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what we have done in terms of research, in terms of certification, in terms of laboratory work. We, of course, have tested our product with the most important virucidal, bactericidal standards, European standards, to demonstrate the effectiveness of the product. Our active substances are all approved by ECHA, the European Chemical Agency. And of course, we have gone through local authorization for Austria, Germany, the UK, and currently undergoing it also in the Czech Republic through our partner, Medfair. And yes, so this is just an overview of our tests that we have done. We are working with accredited laboratories in Germany, Eurovia and Dr. Hygiene, which are accredited viral testing laboratories. We have a wide range of antiviral tests as well, for example, against poliovirus and against other viruses as well. So, yeah, to give you a quick overview of our certification process, we also have been working with AGES, which is the Austrian government agency for health, and have conducted tests in a live environment, in a patient's room, in hospitals, in Vienna, for example, in public hospitals, and have demonstrated the effectiveness of our product. To give you a quick overview of where we are already successfully working, we are focused, of course, during the pandemic in a very public area of the business, which is hotels that deal with the risk, safety issues that they have now for the clients when people come to a room and so on. We've worked with industry leaders. FACC is one of the largest aircraft manufacturer, component manufacturers in Europe. We have worked with public events such as the Salzburg Festival. We have worked with clinics, doctors, offices around Austria and in Portugal and the UK. We are glad to say that we are also in the Premier League. We're working with West Ham United to secure their training facilities, and other sports teams such as Alberto Contador sports team. If you have any questions about us, about the products, feel free to talk to us now. Our CEO Klaus is also present, yeah, pleasure to meet you and looking forward to your questions.
Thank you, Felix. That was very topical in the environment and time of COVID. Question regarding the certification, which you showed there. You got a bunch of the agencies working with you. For those which are not relevant with those agencies, could you just point to the relevance, how important are those certification bodies you're talking with?
Absolutely. So there's three levels. There's a legislative level, which you all know, which is coming from the European level, the European Chemicals Agency. The benefit of our products is that all the active biocidal substances already have been approved. What we developed isn't a way to, a new biocidal agent, but actually a way to implement this biocidal agent inside a coating. So this is really, the know-how is the coating where the biocide is inside and not the biocide itself. The relevance of those certifications is quite high, especially if you're working with healthcare environment, because in a professional healthcare environment, because during this pandemic, of course, there's quite a few companies that are trying to profit from this situation. And all those tests take quite a long time, are quite expensive, and are necessary as a level to show your professionalism when you deal with hospitals, when you deal with public services, so they know that they're dealing with a product that has been thoroughly tested by accredited laboratories, and there's nothing that you have to believe, but you can show them why it works.
Thank you. That's great. And happy to be the partner of Swiss Hygiene Tech in our markets.
I have a question, Felix. Can you give us a practical example? You mentioned hotels, you mentioned clinics, hospitals. So when you go and you apply your disinfectant and then you guarantee this 6 months production, can you give a practical example of how you approach a hotel, how you approach a hospital, and how you actually go about to apply it?
So just from a sales perspective, tell them to think about the time that their employees spend every day to wipe down surfaces. They go around, if it's a hotel, if it's a clinic, all the time and money that has to be spent on cleaning a surface just so it's clean for 1 second, right? Because the second another person touches the surface, it's already contaminated again. So this is really the most valuable part about this product, is not only it prevents antibiotic resistance, but it also saves time and money spent on wiping things that are actually only clean for the second that you have wiped it. Because after a few minutes, when somebody touches it again, it's already contaminated, and you cannot guarantee anymore that this surface is clean. So this is a major issue for, of course, the hospital sector, because, well, you can't just clean an entire hospital 20 times a day. But this is also an issue for hotels. It will change the way how people think about hygiene, right? Because instead of cleaning something after it is dirty, now you know that there's something there, and you can tell this to your customers in your store, in your hotel. You can tell this to your patients. We of course have flyers and so on that can be put up to show the clients what's going on, the patients. There's something there that protects them even before somebody is cleaning and rubbing a surface.
I have a question for you, Felix, if I may. I was just wondering, how is the coating applied to the different surfaces? And is it colored, or is it without any color?
So it is without color. It's fully transparent. That's a very good question. Thank you. And it's applied by wiping the surface with a microfiber cloth. So the process is not necessary to work with any special tools. You can, we of course always train the people that work with our product so they know how to handle it with care. But the process itself just requires manual labor and a microfiber cloth, which we will provide. It's a special type. So you have the most homogeneous application on a surface, which is quite critical, of course. So there's no special spray equipment required or anything like that. It can be done by anybody that is, reads the instructions and does it with care. Of course, with a manual process that can be done by our clients, there's always the option for some mistakes to happen. But in all the tests that we have done, and we do testing with our clients after they have applied it to demonstrate the long-term effectiveness, we've never had any issues with over 300 clients now.
Thank you.
One question regarding on your website, it says prevents mold and algae buildup on coated surfaces.
Correct.
So this can be put on paint, for example?
Yes, this is actually, so you're a step ahead. I wanted to focus, of course, on the medical and healthcare approach of our product. This product can, the coating can also be mixed inside a paint, basically in a paint, and you can apply to walls. So this is, of course, a completely different sector of sales and of the product application. But yes, it also prevents mold and algae buildup. I didn't put it inside here because it opens, the mind to so much further business opportunities that you might not focus on the medical part of this presentation.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry, we cannot hear you, Mr. Benjamin.
We can hear you. I will share with you contact of Felix, and you can talk to him afterwards.
Excuse me, Felix, if I may.
Yes.
When you said I saw also your website, and I have the same question as Roberto. When you mix with the paint, how long does it stand for? Does it stand for 6 months? The sterility?
So this is actually a dependent on the load of environmental impact, right? If you have, because inside the coating is a biocide, and this biocide will be used up every time it reacts with something like a germ, right? Or if with an algae. So this concentration of the biocide can be adapted. So you can increase it for a higher dose and a longer time. So it's possible for the paint product to increase this. For the medical application, for example, so we have two different types of products right now. One is for the medical field and one is for professional, for the regular client field. And for the medical application, the concentration is much higher than for the professional field, because the amount of germs, the amount of viruses and so on that might get in contact with it is probably much higher. So to guarantee this long-term effect, we actually increase the amount of biocide in the product. The wall product that might be of possible interest to you as well. We can share more details with you in the future about this. Right now, we are very much focused on the healthcare application of this product.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think actually our time is up, unfortunately, 9:50. I usually was just about to say something, I think. I want to thank everybody for your attention, and if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. Václav will share our contact address. Feel free to reach out directly to me if you have any very technical questions. Commercial questions, of course, will be asked by office staff. But let us know what you think, and feedback is always welcome. So thanks for your time, and have a interesting 2 more days coming up.
Thank you, Felix.
Thanks a lot, Felix. Wonderful presentation. Thanks a lot once again. So the next presentation will start at 10 a.m. And it will be Pulscat presented by Oren Malkin. And once again, for Swiss Hygiene Technologies, if you would like to contact Felix, please just let me know down in the chat, and I will share you his contact details. So see you all in a couple of minutes.
Goodbye, thanks.